الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah, you're welcome. Today we're going to talk about Tahara. We're still on Tahara, but today we're going to discuss about the purpose, the pure and the impure bodies. The pure and the impure bodies. In Islam, Islam cherished purification. That is the meaning of Tahara. Tahara is an Arabic word meaning purification. You purified yourself. You make yourself clean from impurity. You make yourself clean. You make yourself pure. If you are impure, you make yourself pure. If you have a filth, you clean yourself from filth. Today we'll discuss about the pure and the impure bodies. Every human being, like me, you, and others, we are pure bodies. We are pure bodies. But there are some things that will make us be an impure. But the pure bodies are, for instance, your sweat. After you perform an ablution and you are feeling uncomfortable, like you have some sweat on your body, it doesn't mean your ablution is invalid. Your ablution is still valid. Saliva is not impure. Saliva is pure. Perhaps you are a Muslim and you are praying, you're observing your salat. Someone who salivate, who spit out, come and spit and it touched your body. It doesn't mean your salat will not accept, and it doesn't mean that your ablution is invalid. Everything is still intact because it is part of pure bodies. Your tears, when you shed the tears, it doesn't invalidate your ablution. The milk of human, when you take the milk, you drink the milk of a human after performing an ablution, is valid. Doesn't invalidate your ablution. But the milk of an animal as well, which is lawful for Muslim to eat, to take, it is lawful for you to take and to eat, then your ablution is still valid. The dead body of which does not have a blood, the blood does not flow in the path of this animal, such as a fly and an ant and the worms. When you step on them or you use your hand to kill them, when you are after performing an ablution, the ablution is still valid. It does not invalidate your ablution. These are the pure steps. These are the pure that doesn't make you impure. Now, let's come to the impurity. These are the filth that when you are in the position and you have an ablution, your ablution will be invalid. Cups. When you use your palm and touch a cup like this, your ablution is invalid. You have to repeat the ablution again. And when you hold the cups, in Arabic, there's a difference between al-lamsu wal-mas. Al-lamsu is to hold and al-masu is to touch. When you touch, your ablution is invalid. But when you hold and you are on ablution, or you are not on ablution, but if you're on ablution, your ablution is invalid, and you have to take a ritual bath. Naam, you take a ritual bath before doing any obligatory act. When you hold a corpse, you have to do ritual bath. Naam, because you are already a filth. That is the fiqh. And that is what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ teaches us. Now they extracted things from a dead meat. When a skin of an animal that was killed by a car or an accident, or fall from a story building, or killed unlawfully, or an animal that was killed into a shrine, any of these things I'm going to mention, whenever you perform an ablution and you have an ablution and you touch them, your ablution is invalid. But when you perform ritual bath. After performing a ritual bath, it's not time for salat, nothing, and you touches this thing, you don't need to repeat your ritual bath. Now, it's just about the ablution that is really important. The skin of that of animal that dead, that was killed, when you touch them, your ablution is invalid. The horn, the bones, the nails, your urine, and the milk when you drink them, or you step on the urine of a dead animal, or you touch it, your ablution is invalid. So the excrement of a feed on filth, the excretion of an animal that feed on filth. For instance, you have a cow, and the cow walks about to an extent that they go to refuse area where they throw away death, filth. They eat from dirty places. They are not eating from a farmland. They eat from dirty places. They go to canals, gutters. They eat from dirty things. When that animal poo and you mistakenly barefoot touches them, your ablution is invalid. You have to repeat your ablution because the animal feed on filth. And Imam Malik did emphasize and said, eating the kind of that of animal is unlawful. Imam Malik said that because the animal feed on filth. The blood, when you perform an ablution and the blood, maybe you had an accident, blood was coming out from your body, there is a quantity of which when it comes out, your ablution is invalid, and there is a quantity of which when it touches your body, you have to wash yourself. You have to clean the place. And even when you are praying and you remember that there is a blood touches you, you have to clean it, and it has a quantity. Inshallah, we'll get there when we want to talk about the how to clean the impurity, how to clean the impurities. The bloody pus. After performing an ablution and you have a bloody pus from you coming out, or you touches someone who had a bloody pus, your ablution is invalid. That's why you have to repeat the ablution. Then the vomit. When you vomit, perhaps you ate a rice, and when you vomit, someone cannot say this is rice or this is other thing. It has already mixed up. Then your ablution is invalid as well. Intoxicant liquor. When you perform an ablution, you touch maybe a liquor poured on you, or you touch it or you drink it, your ablution is invalid, which is already unlawful, is haram for Muslim to take. The ashes and the smokes of that of filth. Imam Malik, they said, and Imam Al-Aqsa said that a dead meat or animal that a dead animal or an accidental animal that was killed by a car or died by itself, when burning them, the ashes is unlawful. When you touch them or you step on them after performing an ablution with your bare foot, your ablution is invalid. Now, part of the things that are also impurity, when you have them, you are impure. So for you to be pure, you have to go through the process. One, al-mani. Al-mani is a thick water. It is called the sperm. When there is an intercourse between the husband and the wife, the water that comes out from the male is called the sperm, and that of the female is called semen. It's also a sperm, but it is yellowish in color and light from that of a female. When this comes out and you have an ablution, your ablution is invalid, and you also perform a ritual bath. Even when the sperm does not come out, but the qalam, what means by the qalam is that of the man, goes into the ink. This is a colloquial language. When the qalam goes into the ink only and it was removed, that means the wife will perform a ritual bath, and the husband too will perform a ritual bath and perform ablution, even if there is no sperm. Take note, we are going to get to that extent, inshallah. Now, al-wadiyu is a seminal fluid, it's a seminal urine. When you are urinating, perhaps you want to urinate, and a semen comes out from you, very light and white. When it comes out, you have an ablution, your ablution is invalid. But you are not compelled, or it's not compulsory for you to perform a ritual bath. No. You just perform ablution after washing yourself, that's all. And al-wadi, that is seminal fluid. Seminal fluid comes out when you have a mulamasa, when there is a romance, a foreplay, or you think about something that comes out, So when you do that and you feel these things comes out from you, seminal fluid, white, it's not white, it's somehow colorless. And when it comes out from you, and it's also light, colorless and light, when it comes out from you during this process and you have an ablution, your ablution is invalid. What you do is just perform ablution. You don't need to perform ritual bath, because ritual bath is compulsory only when you have a intercourse. What about the person, you may ask, the person that sleep, one who sleep and had a wet dream? What would the person do? It's optional, but you are not. It's not compulsory upon you to perform a ritual bath, because you do not do it in real life. What you do is that you just clean yourself, change your clothes, and perform ablution and pray. But if you are not comfortable, there are some people, they feel irritated. They feel your listening is irritating me. I want to do and then you can get yourself bathing ritual bath, and it's part of ibadah. It's a bonus. But if you don't do it, it's not haram. But what you have to do is when there is an intercourse. Now, inshallah, we are going to continue from how do you clean yourself from impurity in our next class. Stay tuned. Ma'asalam wa ila al-laqa.